Hi everyone. If you saw the previous video, you'll know that we landed in Dili. We flew there from Darwin in an A320. That was a pretty hairy landing, to be quite honest. It's an RNAV approach, but the charts that they provide from the Timor Leste government is just... they're very strange. Let's put it like that. So, if you can watch that if you want to. I mean, watch the last 10 minutes, that's quite amusing. But we're at Dili now, so this is the overview of the whole of the trip I'm going to make. We're going to leave from Timor Leste, which is Dili airport. We're going to fly across Flores, Sumbawa, Bali, Java, Sumatra, and end up in Singapore. So 6 legs altogether. Well, I guess we should say there's one massive journey, which is 6 trips, and each of those have legs. That would be a better way of putting it. So as you can see from the overview, it's a large amount of flying. The distance from Dili to Singapore direct, I think, is 1,600 miles, and the journey we're going to take is around about 2,500 miles. So it's going to take a while, a few days. I'm going to fly this first trip in a C-172. It's called leg 1, but yeah, I don't know if I should call it leg 1 because there's little legs of each of the legs, so yeah, it's all very strange. So this is leg 1. I'm going to look at all the mountains and the lovely volcanoes. Lewabunga instead of Kawabunga, but yeah. There's some interesting little, that's just a volcano sticking out of the sea, that's another one. It's just volcanoes everywhere. An old volcano, a new volcano. Oh, can't wait. So this is the first one. We're going to end up at Mutiara. It's about 470 miles, I think it is. Then we've got leg 2. And leg 3. Leg 3 is going to be fairly interesting because some of these are fairly active volcanoes, currently active. And we end up in Surakarta City there with the end of leg 3. And leg 4 again takes us across the other side of the island, ending up in Jakarta. Then I had to split 5 and 6 up into 2 because the direction means that they're massive pictures, so they wouldn't fit in. So this is part 1 of leg 5. There we go from Jakarta. And then carrying on through to Palembang City. It's quite rural, this area, so we may have to change aircraft if it gets a bit too miserable, because the 172 does take quite a long time to get places, and these legs are getting quite big by the time we get to legs 5 and 6. So then leg 6 takes us from Palembang all the way over up the west coast to Padang, and from Padang to Pekanbaru, over to the estuarine, then down the Strait of... I forgot the name of it. How can I forget that? Anyway, we come down the strait and then into Singapore. So as I say, that's quite a long way. So we've got the first leg, which is 468 miles, and if I fly around 120 knots, I should take 3 hours and 20 minutes flying time. But we will of course be landing, because as usual I'll be pretending I'm delivering stuff to each of the islands and destinations. But depending on what aircraft we choose, we can see how far we can go. So yeah, and like I said, the direct distance from Dili to Singapore is 1650, and the whole trip that I'm going to take is around 2,500 miles. So this is up basically through the whole of the southern section of Indonesia, all the islands. And as you can see, I mean, if that you imagine that's 450 miles for the first one, 450, about 700, and then even longer. So yeah, I may change to a different aircraft for the last few, maybe 2 legs. But we're going to do it in the C172 for definitely the first 2 or 3. Especially Java, I want to see Java in the 172, but it's a bit limited on view out of the 172. The windows are a bit small, and because the wings are above you, that takes away a lot of the view of the loveliness of it all. Now I will be stopping at various places, and I may or may not take a helicopter up and go and look inside some of the volcanoes. But it's going to be a while, and I've still got to do Spain. I've done the first leg of my Spain trips, but there were another 2 trips around Spain planned that I haven't done yet, simply because we kept getting updates. Like I say, the Spain one, it got a bit annoying because the scenery didn't change, but the clouds and things on the ground did change, and I didn't want it to look completely different. So I just hope that eventually, when we do get SU10, we get some reasonable clouds back. I hate the clouds we've got now. For me in particular, because I've only got 1080p and I don't have any money, so I've just got a rubbishy little graphics card. The clouds now, they're just all crisscrosses and hatching, and you can see it's not real. It's just horrendously unrealistic. So let's see how we get on. There may be a problem with weather, but we'll see how we go. So like I say, first leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg. No, that's not right, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the blue one must be 5. So we've got that all set up, ready to go. And the little old Skyhawk G1000. Well, with the G1000. I would fly it native, and as people love to call it, even though it's a silly thing to say, with steam gauges, because they're not powered by steam and they're not really ancient. But I need the autopilot. Hopefully people will enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it, and if you watch it, then yay, and if you don't, well, I don't really mind. So the next one I'll upload will be the first trip of the journey, leg 1, which I'm going to fly now.